Hi, my name's Wilx, and this is episode 2 of Agrarian Skies 2. Well, there's been an update since my last video. You can now make the wooden axe head, so that's no longer a problem. In the last episode, I made a mistake on the fish, or at least I forgot that you can take. First fish I caught was an anchovy, so let's grab that and raw jellyfish. And if you take an anchovy or any of the other fish in there, they become a raw fish, and that would have ended the quest for me right away. The one odd man out here is a jellyfish, and they make slime balls. So I didn't need to do all that fishing. And that was suggested to me by Rubik Monat, was the first one to suggest it. But let's get started. So I made a bunch of production tables. I'm going to use them the same way I did in Continuum, where we've got, this is how you make them. We take wood planks and stone, make the upgrades, take an upgrade, put it in there, and you've got a production table. And the reason I'm using these is they fit 4 instead of 1 like a crafting station. This particular one I'm going to place right here so that I can set it up for, now notice it, well actually let's finish setting it up. Upgrades. So you go from main down here to upgrades and you put in some crafting tables. Now when we go back to main, we've got these. Notice it is not linking to the chest beside it like this Tinkerer's table is. But we can give it some storage. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take 4 chests and 4 of these. This is shaped crafting, by the way. And then we're going to make extra storage. Then we'll go to upgrades. And notice it doesn't go in global. It goes here. Global would be for things like fuel efficiency or automation. And so each of these has their own little storage area that it can pull from when you craft things. So you could have stone and planks and sticks and whatever, and then craft anything you want with those things, and it'll draw from here. And they each have their own separate little thing. Now, it doesn't have to be all crafting. It does furnaces as well. So see, this is all furnaces in here. And you can mix and match. You can have some crafting, some furnaces. I like to keep them separate. And I just made some toast because I'm about to run out of fish here. Now, oh, something I forgot to mention. I did do some stuff off camera. I flattened out my base, got rid of the little island up there, placed these down, set this up for trees. I got sick of knocking them down. I'm about to automate it. And I planted just a few crops over here. One of them is an onion. Onions. I made myself a market to get an onion. A market is, market. That's wool in the middles, planks on the corners, and an emerald. Then you select the seed, the Pam's Harvest Craft seed that you want. And you can buy it with 1 emerald. I bought an onion. Why an onion? Because I've got a tear jerker tool. Let's grab an onion here. Put my tear jerker tool in there with an onion, and that repairs it. See, it's not repaired there. And the other thing I did was a bunch of sieving. I did that's all from gravel, sand, dust. And I've only cooked up a few things since then. So let's get back to crafting here. So I'll make a smeltery. That's smeltery controller there. And I'm making 30 of the seared bricks. Oh, I've already made this here. I'm standing here so that it can't fall off the edge accidentally. There we go. because I wanted to fill it with lava, and it keeps its fluid when you break it. I'll save that to last. I'll do that, those, and those. Oh, and I did do these off camera as well. So recipe, you smelt down grout. Recipe like that for the grout. Oh, yeah, I stopped in the middle of doing something over here. I finished off those quests, so let's get there right away. On the Tinkerer's Toys, we'll claim that, and we'll claim this. Notice there's a slimy sapling there. And I'm going to place my slimy sapling right away. And I sort of jumped away from what I was talking about over here on this furnace. Something I need to mention in here. Now, the reason I'd set it up was because I wanted to smelt all that, some stone and a whole bunch of grout. And they are far more fuel efficient than a regular furnaces. So I wanted to use them and save on the fuel. Now I've set it up with 4 furnaces in here. If you're automating them, oh, and you can automate these. You couldn't in later packs like Continuum, which is a 112 pack. This 1710 pack, you can automate them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Steve's. Okay, so you have things like the auto crafter, and you can, this one auto transfer, so it can pull things from adjacent inventories, push things into other inventories, etc. And it can auto craft from there. Or you have all sorts of other things. You can use, make it solar, so it doesn't use coal anymore. Or you can have it use lava. You can give it fuel efficiency upgrade, so it gets even more efficient than it is now. You can do production speed upgrades, etc. The reason I'm bringing all that up right now, even though I'm not automating this particular one, is I have 4 furnaces in here. If you're automating it, stick to 1. Don't put 4 in there. The amount of lag it causes goes up exponentially if you have 4 of them. It's much better to have 4 individual workstations with production tables with 1 furnace in each one, because that's linear. 4 of them will cause 4 times as much lag as 1 of them will. But if you have 4 of them in one, it's going to cause 16 times as much lag or more lag than that. So avoid, with automation, having multiples in there. Minecraft doesn't like it. All right, so enough preaching about that. Let's get over here and finish placing these. The reason I wanted to get that planted right away is I'm going to be using it this episode, and it doesn't work with bone meal or a watering can or anything that I could find. Well, there's probably other things that change time or something, and that might have worked, but I don't have access to them yet. Oh, and let's put down that there. Finish off here. So I'm making my basic 4x4 like I usually do. Just because it works in good multiples of 64. I want to hold shift for this one. There we go. Okay, so they're all placed. We'll stick that there, that there, put those like that. And the first thing we're going to work with is tin. It's all set, ready to go, and boom. And we're going to put this in here. Okay, so I want to make an Aqueous Accumulator and an Igneous Extruder here. Oh, before we do that, I'm going to make a couple of Jabba barrels. The thing I like about Jabba barrels is you can place them down in the ground facing up. You can't do that with drawers. You can't do that with Jabba barrels. That's one of the things I really miss about Jabba barrels. I wish the other ones would figure out how to do it. I'd much prefer to have a floor full of barrels than a wall full of drawers. So those done. The next part of this, we're going to need a couple of these gears. It takes 4 ingots for each gear. And we're going to need 2 of them. Oh, and we're going to need copper next. So we'll come over here, put the tin in there, so that's glass and iron around it, and we get machine frames. And these are for a crafting component. And they're going to go like that with a machine frame, and then we need copper gears on either side. You're not finished yet? No. Well, I did that quick. Let's eat something while I'm here. And I'm going to be putting this stuff over here somewhere. How about right here? It's probably not the best place for it, but I want to make my base bigger and put it somewhere else. Okay, should be done by now. Well, while that's working on that, we'll start melting down the iron, since this seems to be taking forever. And we need 2 copper gears for each of those machines. Neither one of them needs power. Okay. So we put one there and there. So with a piston up here, we get an Igneous extruder. And we take our other 2 copper gears, put them there and there. This here, that there. And we got our Aqueous Accumulator. Oh, and then we'll just do that one for the quest. Don't really care that much about it. And super crafting frame. So it's a crafting table and some sticks, easy to make. All right, so Aqueous Accumulator. You go down in here, and then we're going to take a bucket. Put one there, one there. And this thing's filling up with water right away. It's pretty quick about it. When it has water on 2 sides, it's pretty fast. Then I'm going to put my extruder on top. Now, I could have used a liquid transfer node and world interaction upgrades instead, but for the purpose I have here, it just seemed more convenient to do it that way. Because there's a couple of things in here. Notice I can make cobblestone or stone or obsidian. I'm going to set it on stone for right now. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to put one of my Jabba barrels there, one of my Jabba barrels there. And I want to set to lock this before I start actually making any. I need to put lava in it before it's going to make anything. Oh, why don't I put those on my bar? This is what I don't need on my bar. Get in there, then right click. I don't know why I get lag in this. It's officially I'm not getting lag, but I don't know. Okay, that's all set up. So we need 1 bucket of lava. Put it in there. So what happens is it doesn't eat any water or lava to make cobble, But if it's stone, it eats 1 bucket of water each time. If it's obsidian, it eats 1 bucket of each time. So it's making stone and shoving it into here automatically. So I'm going to pull some out, shift, right click, and while it's still open, I'm going to set its recipe. And that makes stone bricks. Now I can take these, I didn't use any of them setting the recipe, put them in there. Now when I walk up to it, if I just want to do 1 craft, I right click and boom, it does 4 each craft. If I want to get a full stack of them, I do that, or as many as it's got. And it gives me a bunch of them. And I'm going to use those to expand my base. I'm even going to make a basement as well. So I wanted to get that done this episode so that my base could be bigger for next episode. Okay, so we're going to be making a stone chopper and a stone planter next. Now, if you're making those, you're going to need tools to go in them that you're able to use. So we need to make some tools for those, and they must be stone level tools. So stone tools don't actually work. You can't use them. So you have to pick other materials that are stone level. Flint fits that category. That's the easiest one to make. But there's a couple of betters. What we're looking for is the best way that you can do for durability at stone level is pink slime. So if let's say we made both parts out of it, we'd have a durability of 5,000. Not bad at all. And it's durability. If you're putting them in a machine, durability is the thing you care about. Now, now we would need a slaughterhouse to make them, and we're not there yet. So in the meantime, we could have done it with plastic. Why are you taking so long to show up? Plastic here. And now you can't make the whole thing. I don't think you can actually craft a tool rod out of plastic. I'm not sure. But the plastic head, actually let's just hold it here, there we go, has a durability of 500. So the plastic head would be pretty good for this. But we don't have plastic yet. To get plastic, we would have had to have made these, which was easy. I had actually planned on doing it. But then when I got to the retriever, I would have needed to use up a ender pearl to make the retriever. And I'm not, even though you get a couple from quests, I'm not sure that I wanted to spend them there right away. I might be able to do something better with it. So I sort of held off on that part. But what I would have liked was to get the rubber sapling from here, and then I could have made plastics and make the machine frames anyways. All right, so for now, what we're going to do, oh, that bloody tree hasn't grown yet. What I want is to make a slime tool rod, because that doubles the durability of what I'm doing. So I think we're going to put that on hold, and we'll do something else in the meantime. Oh, and this is finished, right? Yes. Let's start pouring. Notice that I put it in 9, so there was a total of 4 of these, deliberately that way. If you always do it as a multiple of 9, it's always going to fit in the basin like that. Just use one of these for that. And we'll put them there. And we got ourselves a builder. So we can make ourselves some big chests. And I'm going to put my builder, I think I'll put it right here. Well, I need to pick that up. There we go. Hate the way it bounces around if I place the builder on top of it. And as you can see, you can take it 9 columns and upgrade that to 24. Upgrade this to 12. That's a huge friggin' chest. And you can also make, it takes clay to make a chest, and it takes string to make a backpack, and you can make a huge backpack. However, I wouldn't make an enormous backpack and fill it with things, then run around, because that'll create even more lag. Better to use something like an ender pouch linked to an ender chest, because then when you run across the map, you're not dragging all that stuff with you. It's back in the chest, and you only see it when you open the pouch. But to do this, we are going to need some of these, some iron bars, some clay, and some iron. So right now I'm making the iron. Let's get out the clay. And my thing is ready. We'll put away the clay for now. And actually, we might as well just finish this part off. I think I had 4 of them. That should be 30. Oh, and I had a few more in here because otherwise I won't have enough. And I'm going to need some iron bars. I actually need 32, but the quest, going back to Storage Wars, we'll claim that one. And there's 16 iron bars there. That gives me my 32. So we'll put in our 32 iron bars, 32 iron. So this size of takes 9 of those, 32 of those, 32 of those, 9 of these. You can have extras in there, but you need at least 32. This will be all white if it's FFFF. You can change it to any one of these colors or type in whatever color you want here. Make it multiple colors. You can increase or decrease the size. This is the maximum size. I don't see any reason to have a chest that's smaller than maximum, other than it costs less materials. So build chest. And for some reason it keeps tossing them in there. All right, so now that that's done, oh, I know what else I need. I'm going to need to make myself another. I want to make sure, absolutely sure, that I get some saplings from this tree. We'll do it from over here. And I got vein miner installed in this. There we go. And then those. Oh, and we might as well plant another one over here. You won't need too many of them. A couple of them will probably be enough. Total for the game. I only need this one for now. Okay, so we're going to take that, make it into slime balls. We'll come out here. I don't need 2, I only need 1. There we go. And then we'll start cooking it up here. Okay, so we're making our slime. So now when we go to craft these things, actually let's get our bread out because we're getting peckish here. Okay. So we talked about the pink slime, we talked about the others. For now, what we're going to do is we're just going to make it with what we can. Oh, we're going to need flint. So, oh, right, you. There, when I cooked that slimy mud, I get a slime crystal. So put the slime crystal in there, and we'll make ourselves 2 of these. Now, the right way to have done it would have been to make magical wood first. But I can't make it yet. Magical wood. So for instance, if we were to make a magical wooden hatchet, both parts out of magical wood, we would have 8 modifiers, and they would stay when we replace the parts. If you try to make something like a paper handle or something, when you replace the paper handle, it doesn't stay. You lose it. So this way, I'd have all those extra modifiers, and I could be dumping obsidian plates on it and get it up reinforced all the way up to unbreakable. Well, I'd need 10 to do that. But there's other ways of getting it. You can use it, you get more modifiers that way, or you can use a gold block and a diamond to get another one, or diamond block and I forget what the other part, a golden apple, or there's one with a nether star, or there's creatives in this one that you might receive. But you can get it right up to being indestructible. All we're looking for right now is durability. So we're doing the best we can with what we've got. So we'll take that. We need 2 of those. And 1 of those. So this isn't going to be all that durable, but it's not bad. And stone things don't work, so you can't use them. So put it in there, put that on it, and we get a durability of 242. Because we doubled it. If we'd done it with wood or something, it would have been way lower. Half that. Then we've got this one. It should be twice as good because it's got 2 heads on it. 363. Okay, so now we've got our tools to put in this. And we'll make this the stone chopper, furnace, stone axe. As you can see, it can't mine anything, it's just for crafting. Stone planter, we used a stone hoe instead. And then we'll make some stone upgrades. I'm making 12 of them, so it's 12 redstone and this around. Now, if we were to have used, this is progressive iron, not only would it cost more to make this, but it would have cost more iron to make those. And when you're making a dozen of them, that's quite a bit of iron. Worse yet, if you were to go up to diamond, and the diamond upgrades. Now diamond, you can use any tools. Iron isn't much of an upgrade. It really doesn't get much better on the durability. Maybe a little, but not much. So for our lumberjack here, we're going to place it there. And I'm going to want some other things here. I'm going to want, let's grab a stack of coal. And we're going to put saplings in there. Okay, so we're going to take this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. What am I thinking? Take that, make those. Now, if I put them in here, they automatically get fed into there. And we can put our little hatchet there. Oh, notice that the Mattock won't fit in there. It's got to be that. And then we put in our saplings. Now, it stuck down one of them. It's always to the east. The sun rises over there. So that's where it's going to plant it. But if we take and put one more of, actually let's split these in half. Put one more in there. It puts down another 4. In something like Age of Engineering, when I use these, each upgrade only put 1 more down. In this case, it's doing 4 for each upgrade. So if I want to do all the dirt that's down there, I'll put another 5 in, and it goes all the way around. It would actually do this square here too, but I wasn't worried about losing 1. So now it's all set for this. as it uses them here, it pulls from here. And that's going to do its thing. Now, to do it with the planter. This is slightly different in that we come here and we're going to, let's make sure we don't fall off. Place the planter down there. Then we're going to take and, oh, I forgot to do this again. Put that in there, those up in there. Put in our 6 upgrades. And that. And it should start, see, it's doing it right away. Harvesting all the stuff and putting it in here. It's going in there. Once I build a basement, I will have a pipe feeding out to a chest here, and it'll shove all the produce it collects in there. And this works perfectly fine with Agricraft. Now, I could put a chest directly on top of here and it would push stuff into it, but it would also push those fuel pellets into it as well. And I'd rather that they get fed into here. If it runs out of fuel pellets altogether, it'll start burning wood and keep going. All right, is that everything for this episode? That's sort of the basics here. So, I got a question for you guys. I seem to remember in this that you could get a sigil through questing. Now, there's other ways to get a sigil. What am I talking about? Sigil. I'm talking about the Extra Utilities 2 sigil, these division sigils. That's what you use to get your Cursed Earth. When you activate it, do the ritual to activate it, it creates Cursed Earth, and then you can pick up that Cursed Earth with Silk Touch and then place it beside dirt, and it expands out from there. And you get a whole bunch of them when you do it anyways. So that's how you get Cursed Earth. And also, I would really like to get myself a Builder's Wand. So unstable ingot and some obsidian, and you get a Builder's Wand. Now, I seem to remember last time I did Agrarian Skies 2, I ended up with like 3 sigils or more. And I think they came as a potential reward in one of those reward chests that you get, the random reward chests. I know I could go into the Nether and search through the chests in there and find them there, or I could get a Lutium from Botania and get them that way, but I'm pretty sure I get enough of them through quests. What I'm asking you is, if you've played through this, do you know if it's an actual forced reward for a sigil? I'm not sure if it is or not. I seem to remember that there was a forced reward for a Builder's Wand, but I couldn't find it, so I'm not sure. If you know the answers to that, let me know in the comments. But that's it for this episode. I hope you've found something useful in it. Go out there and have some fun. Thanks.